Hi friends, how are you all? I hope all are good at home. Please stay home, stay safe, stay healthy, stay strong. Welcome to my channel. Good morning to all. Today I am going to discuss about continuation of active voice and passive voice. I am again remembering that 5 rules to change active voice into passive voice. Rules to change from active voice into passive voice, for example, I beat him yesterday. It's a active voice. He was beaten by me yesterday. It's a passive voice. Here I is the subject, beat is the verb, him is the object. Like a subject has to be changed into object. I becomes me. Depending upon the tense of the verb, we have to use be forms or be words like that. We have to use that be forms depending upon the tense. We have to change verb into past participle. Was beaten. Only we have to use in passive voice only V3 form. There is no change in verb form. While we have to use it only V3 form. Usually we have to use by. He was beaten by me. Preposition we have to use that by. Then fifth rule, we have to change object into subject. Him becomes he. Like coming like simple present tense. It is a we will see in 12 tenses what changes in active voice into passive voice. Subject plus V1 plus object, it's a active voice, like a normal structure of the simple present. Then object plus is, am, are plus V3 plus by plus subject, it's a passive voice. It's a passive voice structure in simple present. For example, my mother loves me, it's a active voice. My is the subject, loves is the verb, me is the object. I am loved by my mother, passive voice. I is the subject, loud is the V3 form, by is the preposition, my mother is the object. Means we already told I becomes me becomes I becomes me, like that. Object becomes the subject, me becomes I. Loud is the V3 form, by is the preposition, my mother here, my mother is in active form, my active voice, my mother is the subject. And in passive voice, my mother is the object. Like we will change. We change it like that. Then next example, I do not beat my sister. It's an active voice. My sister is not beaten by me. It's a passive voice. I is the subject, beat is the V form, and my sister is the object. Here my sister is not beaten by me. It's a passive voice. Next example, why did you not meet him? It's an active voice. Here there is no change in why, what, whom, which. There is no change in question for like WH words. After that we have to change that. Like you becomes, here you is the subject, meet is a verb, him is the object. Why is he not met by you? It's a passive voice. You like him becomes he and not met with the V3 form, by is the preposition, you is that you. There is no change in you, and you become you. The next example, which book do you read regularly? It's an active voice. Here you is the subject, read is the verb form, regularly is the like a object. Which book is read regularly by you? It's a passive voice. Then after present continuous tense, structure, subject plus is, am, are plus V1 plus ing form plus object. It's an active voice plus normal structure, like normal structure. Object plus is, am, are plus being plus V3 plus by plus subject. It's a passive voice structure. For example, the engine is driving the train. Here the engine is the subject, driving is the verb plus ing form, the train is the object. It's the active voice. Then we change into passive voice. The train is being driven by the engine. Then train become object becomes subject, driven V3 form, by is the preposition, the engine is the object. Subject becomes object. It's an active voice. Next example, the leader is not making a speech. It's an active voice. A speech is not being made by the leader. It's a passive voice. Here the leader is the subject, making is a verb for ing form, a speech is the object. Like we follow the rules, object will become subject, subject will become object. We have to use that V3 form. Depending upon the tense, we have to change the be forms. Then we have to change that, we have to add that by preposition. A speech is not being made by the leader. It's a passive voice. How are you passing your time? It's an active voice. How is your time being passed by you? It's a passive voice. Here you use the subject passing as V plus ing form. Your time is the object. Like, how is your time being passed by you? It's a passive voice. You becomes you. Then after present perfect tense, structure, subject plus has or have plus object. It's a active voice, a normal structure. Object plus as or have plus been plus V3 plus by plus subject. It's a passive structure, passive voice structure. For example, I have sung a song. It's an active voice. I is the subject, a sung is the V3 form plus object. Song is the object. A song has been sung by me. It's a passive voice. Here a song is a subject, a sung V3 form, by is the preposition, me is the object. Just to follow the 5 rules, then definitely you will succeed to change into active voice into passive voice. The next example, she has not cheated anybody, active voice. Here she is the subject, cheated is the V3 form, anybody is the object. Whenever you come anybody, somebody like that, you will write nobody. Nobody has been cheated by her. It's a passive voice. Next example, have you written the book? You means subject, written V3 form, the book is the object. It's an active voice. Has the book been written by you? It's a passive voice. Object will become subject and we use that be forms depending on the tense, and V3 form written, by is the preposition, you becomes im, subject becomes object. It's a passive voice. Present, then after present perfect continuous tense, there is no passive voice in present perfect continuous tense. There is no change into passive voice, active voice to passive voice. There is no change in present perfect continuous tense. Then after simple past tense, structure, subject plus V2 plus object. It's like active voice structure. Object plus was or were plus V3 plus by plus subject. It's a passive structure. For example, he loved his friends very much. It's an active voice. He is the subject, loved is the V2 form, friends is the object. His friends were loved very much by him. It's a passive. His friends is the here subject and loved is the V3 form, and by is the preposition, him is the object. His friends were loved very much by him. Then after, Rani did not write a letter. It's an active voice. Rani is the subject, write is the victim form, a letter is the object. A letter was not written by Rani. It's a passive voice. A letter is the subject and written is the V3 form. By is the preposition. Rani is the object. It's a passive voice. A letter was not written by Rani. Next example. How did you pluck flowers? It's an active voice. You is the subject and pluck is the V3 form and flowers is the pluck is the V2 form. Flowers is the object. How were flowers plucked by you? It's a passive voice. Means flowers are plural. That's why we write were. How were flowers plucked is the V3 form. By is the preposition. You is the you become you. It's a object. It's a passive. It is in passive voice. How were flowers plucked by you? Thank you, friends. If you like my video, please share, share and comment, and don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.